I'm going to read a poem. And just to mention that I may or may not try doing a new type of performance tomorrow with a dear friend. I think that's how that's supposed to work. Yeah. With a coworker. It's difficult. Language, vocabulary. These are the things that we have issues with, which is why apparently talking about poetry and writing and reading is a big no-no. So here we go. I wrote this in the woods because that's where you flee when your heart dies. I walked about, my heart aflame, burning, hot, naked, waiting for an ocean big enough to draw in, drown in. Moving mountains, forming caverns, islands, never realizing one day I'd run out of building materials to form the bridge I'd need to be between those that weren't and those locked in grief. Married to a past they could never see. Eyes blurred from tears, minds buried in fears. Lied to by lovers and family. Forgot your friends are neighbors, not enemies. Enemies. So, I'm a person who has borderline personality disorder, which is a mental disorder that gets a lot of very bad rap because usually it's kind of like a boat is filling with water. And at some point, it will overflow. But that's fine because it's a boat and it's in water already. Every single time a person who has been traumatized or who has a mental health disability interacts with a trigger, it is like a leak has been sprung in the bottom of the ship. So, instead of possibly overflowing the boat, it sinks. Which is really just a different way for the things to be moving. There is a part of me that wants to go and get dressed up and decked out and go back to a place where I was earlier and see if I can get laid. There is a part of me that wants to message the person who I would unfortunately maybe be okay with sleeping only with them for the rest of my life. But like, they don't usually want to hear from me is what it seems like. Anyway, past that. The other part of me is thinking that I should plan out tomorrow because, as I said at the beginning of this video, I am supposed to be preparing myself for performing, and performers don't look like this Or do they? Well, let me tell you something. They do if they realize that we are all always performing in a game that most of us who have, I don't know, scientific backings really, really don't enjoy, because it's kind of like it's rigged. And unfortunately, I know a lot of those today. It's like I figured out how the rigging works, which is kind of a fun joke because I do actually have rigging training. Up and down. So, in honor of tomorrow and the possibility of me being very inappropriate, I'm going to say top and bottom. And leave it at that and let you wonder what I